Now in this session I will show you same example in Studio. I have given application name as returning data from child activity. I will click next, select empty activity, next and finish. Now let me create second activity also by selecting empty activity. I will name it as second activity. Click finish. Now first I will design first activity XML. Already it has one text view. Let me convert it as button. First let me take linear layout. Since in the first screen you have only one button, orientation doesn't matter, but still I will take orientation as vertical. In place of text view I will make it as button. I will take width as match parent, height wrap content, and I will change text as start second screen. Let me give some ID for this button, button 1. With this our first screen design is over. Now let me go to second activity XML where we will take two buttons. First let me take this as linear layout with orientation vertical. First button, width match parent, height wrap content, text success, ID button 1. Remember, though we have taken ID button 1 in first activity, still you can use same ID name in other activities also. There will be no problem. I will copy paste this because we have to take one more button also, and I will simply change ID to button 2, success to failure. Now I will go to main activity. First I will declare all variables. Before declaring variable, since main activity contains one child activity, first step, define request codes of all child activities, which looks like this, and then we will declare all required variables. We have only one button in this screen, so we will declare one button variable and then initialize button variable, then give button click listener for this button, b dot set on click listener, new on click listener, select that. Now this is where step 2 comes. Start second activity using start activity for result method. First we will prepare intent, which looks like this. Then we will say start activity. You can observe second option, start activity for result, which takes two parameters. You can observe it takes two parameters, intent and request code. Our intent object name is in, comma, as I told you, you can pass 1 also, but it makes more sense if you pass variable name request code 1. So with this, step 2 is over. In first step we have defined request code for child screen. Then we are using start activity for result. Now we will go to second activity, that is child activity. Since child activity contains two buttons, first we have to declare button variables, button b1 and b2, and then initialize button variables. Then implement button click listeners. Since you have two buttons, two button click listeners will come here. b1 dot set on click listener, new on click listener, select it. Just below button 1 click listener, after semicolon press enter, give button 2 click listener, select this option. Now two button click listeners are ready. Now step 3, return success to parent activity if user clicks button 1, else return failure to parent screen if user clicks button 2. For this, as I told you, we should use set result method. It is expecting result code. Just like request code, parent will pass request code and child will return result code. There are two result codes. result OK. If you observe, as I am typing RES, it is showing predefined results. As of now, don't worry about result first user. In my explanation, I will be using only result OK or result cancelled. Result OK for success. And then, as I told you, we should use finish method. If you remember, I told that result OK is a predefined constant given by Android system which represents a success. If you want to see where is this result OK defined, you can press Ctrl in your keyboard, move cursor and click here. When I am moving cursor here, you can observe it is a public static final variable which is equivalent to -1, and this integer variable is defined in activity.java file, which is a predefined Java file given by Android system. If you want to open that, click with your mouse by pressing Ctrl button. You can observe here, this is a standard activity result which programmer should follow to tell operation is succeeded. To tell failure, we should use result cancelled. Result cancelled 0, result OK -1, and result first user is 1. This we will use later, not now. Similarly, for sending failure, I will use set result. Since it is constant variables, it will come in capital letters. Result cancelled and finish. With this, step 3 is over. Step 4, we have to go to parent activity. Cast the results coming from child activity in the parent activity. How to do this? We have to come out of onCreate lifecycle method. Let me enable line numbers. Your onCreate method is starting here and it is ending here. So you have to come out of onCreate method and search for onActivity result. You don't have to remember everything. Android Studio will help you when you are typing. Just type, but be careful. Method names will start with small letter, so you should not start with the capital letter. If I start with on, O capital letter, and if I try to type on activity result, it may not show correctly. So you have to use small letter O, on activity result. You can observe first option. Just select that option. As I told you already, this will come with 3 parameters and it will have a default super line. Now whatever you want to do, you have to do before this super keyword. So press enter here. Remember an important point. In case of onCreate method, super.onCreate should be the first line. For other lifecycle methods, that super line should be the last line. I will explain this reason later. As of now, remember that much. Now, this is step 4. Catch data here, which are coming from all child screens. Now I will use if condition. If request code equal to REQ code 1, which means data is coming from first child. For understanding purpose, I am writing in the comment lines also. Again, we have to check whether child 1 is success or failure, for which we will use result code variable. Result code equal to result OK. That means child 1 is success, else child 1 is failure. Now I will print a toast message. With this, our code is over. Now let us run the application to see the output. Sometimes when you run the application, your ADB window will not display connected devices properly. In that case, close window and run the application one more time. It will detect correctly. Select your device, Genymotion, and click OK. Now it has launched application. Now I will click start second screen. Now I will click success. You can observe success toast message in the parent screen, and when I click success button, automatically this screen will be closed and it will go back to parent screen. Observe child 1 success. Let me start second screen one more time. Now I will click failure, which displays child 1 failure. I hope you understood the working mechanism. Now same thing I will show with breakpoint technique. If you understand this concept, you can go ahead with the next session. Otherwise, you can see the clear flow by using a breakpoint technique. First, I will close the application. Now, I will put one breakpoint in first screen button click listener, that is here, by clicking here. Then I will put one breakpoint in on activity result method inside at line number 32 to check if the data is really coming from the child screen. Now I will go to second activity. I will put a breakpoint in button 1 as well as in button 2. So total 4 breakpoints enabled. Now I will select insect symbol for debugging and analyzing the code. It will ask you, do you want to restart the application for debugging purpose? Click restart app. Click OK. It will show you a small pop-up window saying waiting for debugger. In that pop-up window, don't select force close. Don't click. Now it is connecting to the debugger. Now it has connected. Now when we click this button, first it will hit first breakpoint. You can observe main activity button click listener has entered. Now I don't want to see the step-by-step process here. I just want to see where it is going in the next point. Which key you have to press? F8 key is used to execute step by step. F9 is to go to next breakpoint. So I will press F9. Since I am recording the screen, if I press F9, it will hang my recording. So in place of F9, I can go to run. I can click this option, resume program. Now it has launched second activity because here we are saying start activity for result. If I open Genymotion, it would have launched second activity. Now I will click success button. Where it should stop now? Button 1 click listener of second activity. We have a breakpoint there, so it should stop there. Observe second activity button 1 where we are passing result OK and finish. Now let me press F9. If I press F9, it should go to next breakpoint. In this flow, after closing current screen, this result OK should go to parent screen method on activity result. Now I will press F9. You can observe automatically data is coming to on activity result method of main activity. Tell me who is calling this method? This is a lifecycle method, and this can also be called as callback method, which will be called automatically by Android system. So first we are checking if request code is equal to 1. That means data is coming from first child. Now let me press F8 to check step by step process. It is entering inside, that means data is coming from child 1. Observe, if I move cursor to result code is -1. That means the result coming from child screen is result OK. So obviously this if condition will enter and it will print toast message child 1 success. Now I will press F9 one more time. It will print child 1 success. So I hope you understood.